World War II, a conflict that involved over 30 countries and led to more than 60 million deaths, changed the world forever. But in 1945, peace was finally restored. How did such a devastating war come to an end? Let's explore the events that shaped the closing chapter of World War II and the dawn of a new world. In Europe, the end of World War II came as the Allied forces advanced against Nazi Germany. After years of intense fighting, the tide began to turn with key victories, like the D-Day landings in Normandy in June 1944. This marked the beginning of the end for Adolf Hitler's regime. By April 1945, Allied troops, including American, British, and Soviet forces, had surrounded Berlin. With his regime collapsing, Adolf Hitler took his own life on April 30th, 1945. On May 8, 1945, Germany officially surrendered to the Allies. This marked victory in Europe Day, or VE Day, a day celebrated across Europe and America as the war in Europe came to an end. But while Europe rejoiced, the war was far from over in the Pacific. In the Pacific, the conflict between the United States and Japan continued. Despite losing key battles, Japan refused to surrender, resulting in some of the bloodiest battles of the war, like Iwo Jima and Okinawa. These battles took a tremendous toll on both sides, with the U.S. determined to bring an end to the war. But Japan's resolve remained strong, making it clear that a full invasion of Japan would cost millions of lives. In August 1945, the United States made the decision to use atomic weapons in an effort to bring the war to an immediate close. On August 6, 1945, an atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, and 3 days later, a second bomb on Nagasaki. The devastation was unimaginable. Faced with this unimaginable destruction, Japan's Emperor Hirohito announced the nation's surrender on August 15, 1945. This day, known as VJ Day, marked the end of World War II. On September 2, 1945, aboard the USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay, Japanese officials signed the official document of surrender in front of Allied representatives. The deadliest conflict in human history was finally over. The end of World War II left a world in ruins. Entire cities had been destroyed, millions were dead, and survivors faced an uncertain future. The war had not only caused immense human suffering, but also changed the geopolitical landscape of the world. Millions of people were displaced from their homes, especially in Europe and Asia. As nations began to rebuild, the world faced the challenge of rebuilding not just infrastructure, but also the trust between countries. Out of the ashes of war, a new organization was formed to prevent such devastation from happening again: the United Nations. In 1945, representatives from 50 countries gathered in San Francisco to establish this global body dedicated to maintaining peace and security. The United Nations became the foundation for a new world order, one that hoped to resolve conflicts diplomatically rather than through war. Its creation was one of the most important legacies of World War II. To rebuild war-torn Europe, the United States initiated the Marshall Plan, providing economic aid to European nations. This helped to stabilize economies and prevent the spread of communism, leading to a period of growth and recovery. World War II forever altered the course of history. It was a war fought not only on battlefields, but also in the hearts and minds of people around the world. The peace that followed was hard-earned and must never be taken for granted. Today, we remember the sacrifices made by millions and the efforts to restore peace. The legacy of World War II lives on in the hope that humanity will never again face such devastating conflict. Thank you for watching. If you learned something new today, let us know in the comments below.